Welcome back to Views with Hughes, your agenda for news. This is Jerome Hughes, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, today we got to talk about something that's, obviously still been on my mind, and it's been on yours too, not as much, but Leslye Headland and the other creators of Disney Star Wars The Acolyte are definitely getting desperate, and I mean really desperate. Now they've been sharing this ridiculous video where the cast is talking about and the stuff they stole from the set and everything, and you heard it right. They're actually trying to get us interested in season 2 of the Acolyte by talking about what they took home from the set. But the truth is, this Star Wars Acolyte season 2 might not even happen, and it's not hard to see why. So here's a video. Let's watch.
Well, I took things from set illegally. We only steal from the ethically, morally compromised and from sets.
There you go. There you go. I did not take anything.
It's obvious that they're really pushing it really hard with this one, and it's of no surprise, but it's definitely desperate to keep Disney Star Wars Acolyte by Leslye Headland desperate. I mean, I guarantee you this has all been made by Leslye Headland, and even Kathleen Kennedy. Go ahead and keep it relevant. Let's continue.
From set.
Really?
I stole my boots. My dope, freaking amazing Jedi boots that are the sickest things ever. And
Jedi boots? Why not just call them boots? I mean, this is the same guy who said that they're talking about how this is just abysmal right here. Yes, this is the guy that's the supposed Star Wars fan who claimed that something was destroyed by the Death Star, but really wasn't. And it's like, yeah, but other than that, let's continue.
Walk around my house with them just feeling like...
You do?
I do.
I stole my comms communicator.
That's a...
It's not sorry.
I mean, it's nothing new. Actors and actresses from movies and shows do steal props and stuff from the shows and movies that they were working on, or probably even bought them. But to use this to go ahead and keep Disney Star Wars The Acolyte relevant and everything, I mean, definitely a desperate move and stuff.
Shocked by that.
But it was my last day.
Okay, well, you know that they would look the other way.
Her last day before she died. I actually liked her in Deadpool and Wolverine. She was actually excellent, and I still can't believe she's really as short as she looked at a movie and everything. Then that's her actual height. She looked about 5 feet, 5'2", 5'3", whatever. But I honestly, I didn't even know that she had a British accent. I didn't even know she was British. But let's keep going with Amanda Stenberg.
3D printed version of Pip. It's one of the first Pips to ever exist. He's so small.
Whoa, inside voices, Pip.
I also stole and put in my pocket some blue mushrooms from the tree.
She got the shrooms. The 3D printed, hand-painted, possibly shrooms.
Dog.
Each mushroom is 3D printed and hand painted.
Also, I gotta keep pausing and playing the video and do commentary on it, because Star Wars, as crazy as they are, they go ahead and just try to go and do copyright strike on you. So I don't want that happening.
A couple of them.
The greatest moments were definitely in Madeira, especially having come out of the gloom of London and being in this, what they call the Hawaii of Europe. We did a lot of episode 6 there, which was a really important episode for me. And we really got to just hang out with one another and just really celebrate, almost like the tail end of our production. So yeah, the time in Madeira was a really beautiful one.
Who is he? I thought he was with you.
같이 연기를 했던
And this dude right here, Lee Jung-jae, he was the highlight of the show. He was the only good thing that a lot of the George Lucas or some of those who were watching the stuff really loved, and they decided to go ahead and kill him off of the Disney Star Wars Acolyte. And yeah, basically that's the nail in on coffin. They shot themselves in the foot with this one.
연기자분들이 한 번씩 끝날 때마다 작은 선물을 이제 하시더라고요. 그래서 너무 감사했고, 그래서 저도 선물을 준비해서.
Now he's basically talking about the different gifts that they gave him that he took with him, including the he wish he would give him this lightsaber in this part right here as he's taking it out.
이번에 하나 좀 주셔도 좀 좋겠는데라는 생각을 했는데.
But obviously they won't let people take home the lightsabers and stuff. So yeah, that's no surprise right there either.
받지 못했습니다.
She did break like 4 lightsabers.
I think I broke like 6 actually.
How the heck did she break 6 lightsabers? How?
Start explaining. The hilts were gorgeous.
Also, I can see y'all in the comments now talk about how is it that you didn't know she was so short? You obviously didn't watch the show. Of course, if you actually kept up with me in this on this broadcast and everything, you'll see that I didn't take interest in watching the Acolyte. I didn't review it, didn't want to review it. I just talked about the ratings as well as the public reception of it. Okay.
The only problem for me with the hilt was, first of all, my hands are tiny, so it wouldn't fully wrap around the hilt. The second issue was the saber was too long for me because I'm 5'2", so they had to make me a shorter saber.
Just make smaller sabers.
Make some more sabers.
I mean, it's obvious that they do have smaller sabers. I mean, everyone who watched, the George Lucas prequels of Star Wars will actually tell you that Yoda had a smaller saber. Okay, he had a smaller lightsaber. It's nothing surprising, nothing new. I wouldn't even be surprised if Grogu, if he were ever to get a lightsaber, well, which I doubt it. And even in that, on the Mandalorian, he had a smaller lightsaber. Okay, but this isn't about the Mandalorian. Okay, this is Star Wars the Acolyte's desperation, along with Leslye Headland, desperate to go ahead and just keep this is Star Wars the Acolyte all relevant, but. Let's start with the fact that, season 1 of Disney Star Wars The Acolyte by Leslye Headland under Kathleen Kennedy was a complete flop. Now, the ratings were abysmal. I mean, Disney Star Wars The Acolyte by Leslye Headland under Kathleen Kennedy didn't even crack the Nielsen ratings at the top 10. It's bad when something that's part of the Disney Star Wars universe can't even make it onto the top 10 list. Okay, and this is on Disney Star Wars we're talking about. Well, yeah, Disney Star Wars, and it's supposed to be a sure thing, but not with Disney Star Wars the Acolyte Leslye Headland under Kathleen Kennedy had envisioned. Now, it's a clear sign that the real fans, are rejecting what Disney Star Wars has become under Kathleen Kennedy's leadership. And that right there is no surprise because, well, it was long expected. Now, here comes the desperate part. Instead of just addressing the real issues like the terrible writing, the woke agenda, and the fact that Disney Star Wars the Acolyte just doesn't feel like Star Wars, Leslye Headland and her team decided to go ahead and put out this video where the cast is joking around about what they stole from the set. I mean, seriously, this is what they're focusing on. Not the story, not the characters, but what the actors took it home. It's like they're trying to distract us from the fact that Disney Star Wars The Acolyte by Leslye Headland under Kathleen Kennedy was a failure. And yeah, you know what? It's not working because of the simple fact that the matter is it's been rejected, and this whole thing just screams desperation. All right, it's like they're throwing everything at the wall hoping that something sticks, but the Star Wars fans aren't even buying it. Star Wars fans see right through this charade from Leslye Headland and Kathleen Kennedy. Okay, and then there were even Disney Star Wars fans trying to create some kind of online buzz, some kind of interest in a season 2, but it's clear that even they know it's a long shot. There's been no word from Disney about renewing Disney Star Wars The Acolyte for another a season 2. And honestly, why would there be? Now, the first season of Disney Star Wars The Acolyte from Leslye Headland under Kathleen Kennedy was a flop. And Disney's not in the business of throwing good money after bad, or at least they shouldn't be. I mean, it's no surprise they did that with Marvel and Lucasfilm, but let's face it. There's just no real interest of season 2 of Disney Star Wars The Acolyte, and the fans have spoken with the lack of interest in viewership, with their time, and in their attention. And they've said, no thanks. Now, the Disney Star Wars the Acolyte ratings are just simply proof of that. And when the Disney Star Wars The Acolyte from Leslye Headland under Kathleen Kennedy can't, even crack the Nielsen ratings, it's pretty clear that it's a pretty clear sign that The Acolyte is not resonating with the audience. But you know what? instead of just basically taking a step back and maybe, just maybe considering that, you know, they've gone down the wrong path, Leslye Headland and her crew are trying to keep their hype train going with these ridiculous stunts. And it's almost laughable. But here's the thing. Even if Leslye Headland and her crew somehow decide to manage to scrape together enough interest to justify Disney Star Wars The Acolyte Season 2, now, do you think it's going to be any different? Do you think they're going to be suddenly start respecting the source material, respecting the fans, the George Lucas lore, and giving us the kind of Star Wars we actually want? I wouldn't even bet on it, to be honest with you. Now, we also got to talk about, you know, the possibility of Disney Star Wars The Acolyte Season 2, or rather, the lack of possibility. Now, with no word from Disney, and considering how, you know, poorly Disney Star Wars The Acolyte Season 1 performed, it's pretty clear that Disney Star Wars The Acolyte Season 2 is not a priority for Disney itself. And can you blame them? I mean, Disney's already dealing with enough problems with the Gina Carano lawsuit, with Disney stocks dropping, layoffs happening, and fans walking away from what used to be one of the, you know, the beloved franchises in the world. And the last thing they need is to pour more resources into Disney Star Wars The Acolyte, that basically definitely has been proven to be a dud. All right, but Leslye Headland and the creators are still holding out hope, and you know what? That's why Leslye Headland and the creators, you know, just putting out these silly videos, and Leslye Headland and the creators are hoping to like rally a few diehard fans who are still hanging on, hoping to just generate enough interest to keep Disney to greenlight another Disney Star Wars The Acolyte season. But again, it may not happen. The fans have moved on, and no amount of gimmicks is going to change that at all. Now, let's go ahead and be honest here. Leslye Headland and the creators of Disney Star Wars The Acolyte are just basically grasping at straws at this point, trying to go ahead and generate interest in a Disney Star Wars The Acolyte Season 2 that may never come. And let's be honest, it shouldn't come. The first season of Disney Star Wars The Acolyte was a failure, plain and simple. And the ratings prove it, okay? The Star Wars fans are interested in what Kathleen Kennedy and Leslye Headland have been putting out. And you know what? No amount of set stealing stories is going to change that. And it's time for Disney to actually face the facts and try to move on from this woke mess of Disney Star Wars The Acolyte. So what do you guys think? You know, is there any hope for a Disney Star Wars The Acolyte Season 2, or is it time for Disney to finally pull a plug on this woke disaster? Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you might have on this particular topic. If you enjoyed what I shared in this video, go ahead and smash like button and share far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already and you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.